Welcome to the All Things Circular podcast, your gateway to the circular economy. Hosted by industry experts Victoria Darcy and Rich Bolger. Every episode is proof that circularity isn't just good for the planet. It's a smart business decision. Our mission is simple: to empower, to inform, and to show you how to make the circular economy work for you.
Hello, welcome to another episode of All Things Circular. I'm Rich Bolger, and I'm here with a very special friend, April Wiley from DHL. April, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be able to spend some time with you today.
Yeah, it seems like we're getting to be regulars in Vegas. It seems like we were just at Manifest here a few weeks ago, and now we're back at the Reverse Logistics Association show.
Yep. And late last year, you were in Austin with us speaking at our conference, our technology conference. So thank you for that.
I have to tell you that I've been to a lot of industry sessions, trade shows, speaking engagements. That was probably my favorite one I've ever done. I just thought it was so clever how DHL had a person from their team, one of their key clients, and an industry expert to go deep on 3 different topics. And the breakouts were fantastic. So well done on putting on a tremendous show. It was really fun.
There's a great events team that works on that within our tech sector. And there's been years of refinement and feedback from people and what customers want. They don't want to be sold. They want to hear from the experts. They want to come and invest in an event that they're going to learn and get some key takeaways. And I think they also really want to make friends and build their network. And it doesn't want to just be with the providers that they're working with. They want to meet with their peers and share challenges and try to solve challenges that are out there, such as sustainability, such as circularity, how we can together make the world a better place.
Totally agree. And DHL has been very active in going through and trying to advance the circular economy, circular logistics. DHL was a key sponsor of Manifest, and now we're here at the Reverse Logistics Association, which is kind of one of my favorite shows anyway. But DHL has really stepped up in the sponsorship level, the activity level. What's going on with DHL, and can you help me understand a little bit about the bold moves DHL is taking forward right now?
Well, I think, sustainability is more than just a buzzword that's out there in the market right now. Our customers need us to provide solutions to them, more than just transport solutions like sustainable fuels and some of these things we all hear about. But we also need to provide logistics solutions within the 4 walls or outside of those 4 walls that enable circularity. Because the first thing is getting it back, and then you need to be able to get to that economic value within that asset and to be able to handle that in a world that is shrinking every day. But if you have to keep transporting things all around the world or across borders or even across the United States, that's cost, that's money, and you're not getting to that value soon enough. So the more we can do closer to the point of return, we can deliver, what does our friend Tom Maher say? Green on green, a green sustainable solution, and deliver the ROI that the business is asking them to do.
Totally agree, and I absolutely love it. Speaking of Tom Maher, you've invited Tom and I to participate in a panel with you tomorrow here at the Reverse Logistics Association. For those of our friends online that aren't going to be able to participate in that panel, can you educate our listeners as to a few of the things that we're going to be talking about, and why did DHL want to bring those topics to the forefront?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it's pretty bold of me to get such experts up there, but this is what you do. If you bring on people that are true subject matter experts, they're going to make DHL look so credible in the market. So I appreciate both of you guys willing to be a part of our panel. We wanted to be up on the stage and share our vision. There are a lot of tools in the market. There's a lot of noise in the market, and there's a lot of opportunity. So how do you bring that all together? And so we've focused on building an kind of a modular ecosystem that allows customers, whether it's a returns portal, whether it's recovery tools, or our RCT tool that we'll be showcasing, that helps make things smarter and faster, and using digital solutions to drive out that waste that's in a typical reverse market. I mean, most companies historically have done returns and reverse as a necessary evil, not as a motivator for something new. And now we see companies investing in products as a service, device as a service. So they know all this product is coming back, and they need an efficient way to handle it. And so they can recover that value and get it redeployed really quickly and make that return for their shareholders that are asking for that.
Awesome. One of the conversations earlier this morning was about compelling returns. The necessary evil returns, the unwanted returns that come when someone changes their mind and they want to send something back because they got the wrong thing or because they had a warranty on it and the product broke. Those are returns that you want to compel down. But there are some return streams, product as a service, trade-in, lease, that are compelling returns up. And I see a lot of organizations right now using their reverse logistics team to manage both the unwanted returns down and help facilitate the movement of a product from one owner to the next. You mentioned a tool, RCT. Can you help me understand what that means and what does that tool do?
So RCT stands for Remote Collaboration Tool, and it's an AI-enabled tool that allows people to take pictures so they can do it from that site. And so you know what's coming back and make decisions either on site at that source of return, or that allows us to handle that dispositioning much faster within the four walls of the warehouse. So instead of sending it down 3 or 4 lanes before it gets to a place that they're making the decision to scrap it, we can decide that right when it comes in and take that path. All this product is going to go and we're going to be repairing it and getting it back out into the market so they can reuse it again. By enabling the AI to make a lot of these decisions, you can make them faster, you can make them better, and you can take out 2 or 3 steps within that warehouse, which obviously lends itself towards cost and driving out that cost, which is what we need to do as a provider.
Fantastic. A lot of people think that a shipping label, a tracking number from an organization like DHL is just a vehicle to go through and get a package picked up and delivered to the right point. But if you're able to go through and tie that tracking number to an expected return, what's inside the box, and take it one step further to say what is the cosmetic condition of the thing inside the box. I saw some really cool world-class robotics and automation in the DHL facilities I've visited in Europe with automated sortation to go through, and without opening the box, you knew what was in it and where to get it to go. The technology is just getting really interesting, and DHL is doing some super cool things. Speaking of that, there's a need for talent. I talk to a lot of people. I'm spending time with college classes, getting new, fresh minds reaching out based upon the podcast All Things Circular. What would you like to say to some of the young professionals that are thinking about professions they can get into and make a difference? And what would you advise movement to be, and why DHL as a particular destination to go work?
It's a great question. So, I have young kids. I have 2 19-year-olds that are in college right now. My son is studying supply chain and has a strong passion for sustainability as well. So, combining logistics and sustainability is a great future for a lot of young people because they want to have a better future. They also want to have a good job that has a lot of potential for them to grow, to work in a lot of different markets. One of the greatest things about working in logistics and supply chain is one day I'm dealing with a medical device company, the next day I'm with a tech company. I'm starting to deal with fashion houses and some of these companies that have needs for some of these similar solutions with the products and the point of sale and all of these other technologies. So you can be in every industry that's out there from a logistics perspective. So it can really kind of feed both sides of your soul from a business perspective, and it's limitless as to where you can go with supply chain and logistics. It's a fun place. No 2 days are alike. So if you're looking for a day to be the norm, this ain't your place because I'll tell you that it's dynamic and it's responsive. Technology is flowing into logistics and supply chain like we've never seen before to enable reverse logistics, to even enable the forward. There's even movies coming out that are making their stars. I don't know if you've seen, and it's a little bit of a rim. Maybe we won't go down that path, but where the CEO was a founder of a logistics robotics company. So people are talking about it, and it is hip and cool. And I think that's why kids and students are clearly interested in supply chain, and it's such a growing field of interest for young people.
Yeah, I've stopped really using the terms reverse logistics and forward logistics in normal conversations because people really don't identify with those. It creates confusion. but the term circular logistics, I have found, invokes an emotional response,
Mhm.
where especially with Gen Z and millennials focusing more on purpose over
Yep.
price, being a part of the circular economy and making things move from one owner to the next for environmental and economic reasons just feels right. Now, you are someone that I have loved working with, and we've been working in this space for quite some time. Forgive me for saying, but you are a courageous leader. You're an inspiration to people that come, that attend conferences like this. But talk to me a little bit about your journey. How did you get into this space? Talk to us a little bit about what your day is like at DHL.
Okay. Well, I will say from early on within my career at DHL, I was always kind of grabbing for some of those extra kind of stretch jobs that had to do with sustainability. Oh, I'll be the lead on that. And so I kind of just my passion and my heart was there. I always kind of feel like we want to use what we have. Don't go buying new and misusing the precious resources of our earth. Let's use them wisely. And so I was always lending towards that. I did sell some deals early on in my career that were reverse logistics oriented for a big tech company down on the border. And you could see the value that we could drive in some of these solutions. And we saw the burden that the customer had in trying to tackle it and what we could do to help them with our logistics solutions. And so it kind of spurred that forward. Plus, I've had some inspirational leaders who were very good about figuring out what makes you tick, winding you up and pointing you in that direction and not really telling you no. They're like, go figure it out and go invest. As we talked about earlier today, if you just keep doing the right thing, good things come. And DHL has enabled that for me because they know that my heart is in sustainability. It's in this circular, we call it the circular supply chain. It's in that product, it's in that solution, and it's in the conversations that I bring, which is why we've connected and had so many great conversations. And other people out there, I feel like I'm evangelizing the subject for DHL around the world, and it's super fun. And they're, by the way, they're paying me to do this. I'm getting a paycheck to go do something that my heart is in, and so it's fabulous.
That's a great way to live when you don't have to do something, you get to do something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I get to go to work today. I get to talk with you, and I get to share our thoughts and everything. So thank you.
Yeah, and there's a buzz, there's an excitement around this space that I haven't seen before. We've been talking about AI and ML for a long time now, but this year it really feels like that's taking place.
Yep.
One of the things that we like to do on this podcast is ask about a myth that you like to bust, but I'm going to ask you a very specific myth that I'd like for you to bust, if you don't mind me putting you on the spot.
Okay.
But I think that for the longest time, reverse logistics professionals wanted to be like an elevator repair person. Have you ever met an elevator repair person?
I have.
Were you stuck in an elevator?
No, but you can see them out there.
Yeah. So you want to be invisible. The only time you
Yeah.
really meet an elevator repair person is when something breaks. So for the longest time, reverse logistics professionals have felt safe in the background, but with the growing impact of unwanted returns and desired returns with the circular economy, that really isn't the case anymore. But a common myth is that reverse logistics professionals can't or don't need to sell. And you've used the word selling quite a few times. So what would you like to say to some of the reverse logistics professionals that have a fear of selling? Is that a myth?
Well, I do think it is a myth. Well, I don't, I'd like to say I may have used the word a lot. I don't know that we're selling as much as trying to connect a problem with a solution and conveying the solution set that we have. So it is a bit of selling, and I think of sales as communicating,
Yes.
finding what's not working and what that problem is, and connecting it over to a solution. And so if that's selling, then that is what I'm doing, but it really is solving their problems. And their problems are, for them to go invest in all the technology is probably daunting, and it probably doesn't give the returns. We can invest in it and bring it across 20, 30, 50, 100 customers where they're going to invest in it once and only be able to use it in their business. So it really does, and it's an enabler to this total solution. We can invest in all this infrastructure around the world and deliver what we need to planet Earth and make it better.
Yeah, what I learned when I was in sales was the great sales reps don't sell. They ask their customers questions that make the customer sell themselves. And if you do it right, you can tell a customer the most powerful words in the sales vocabulary. Based upon what you told me, My recommendation is this, and here is why. And when you have fantastic tools and technology like you have at DHL, and you combine that with purpose and passion, it makes it easy. April, is there any last parting thoughts you'd like to share with the listeners of All Things Circular for your thoughts on RLA or Manifest or where the industry is going?
I think it would be more of a challenge. And how are you going to challenge yourself and everyone out there to do more? And what are they going to do personally to drive more sustainable living and more sustainable within their businesses? And what can they do as individuals? I mean, I guess that's my challenge to the world. And I know you're doing it, but what else can you do?
Absolutely. I appreciate that challenge. We will answer the call and keep on spreading the gospel. We get to do it tomorrow
Yep.
on stage with Tom, Green on Green.
Yep.
April, I know a few of our listeners would like to learn more about DHL or you in specific. How can they find you or learn more about DHL?
DHL, our website is massive, and so it's always daunting to get through that. But if you go through the main website and you kind of if you were to use the search bar for circular supply chain, you'll be able to find our product offering. For me personally, I'm at April Wiley on LinkedIn, so you can look for me at DHL Supply Chain. I welcome any conversations and engagement. If people are looking to get into this arena and to participate in logistics and particularly the circular supply chain, I welcome the opportunity to talk with you. I've got 2 young people I'm mentoring right now. I have room for maybe one more, but I think also what we need to do is to give back and make sure that we're bringing up the younger generation. So reach out. I'd love to hear from anyone out there that want to talk about it. Obviously, I'll talk all day long about it with you and others. So thank you.
Well, April, thank you very much for being an inspiration, a motivational leader, someone who cares deeply about making a difference. I really admire what DHL is doing, taking bold stances to make the world a better place, helping the environment and the economy. So thank you so much for joining us today. And to the listeners of All Things Circular, thank you very much for tuning in and spending time with my good friend April and I. Thank you very much. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thanks for tuning in. Please head over to allthingscircular.com to learn more.